Like a large chunk of us in the Pokemon community, I was worried about Pokemon Legends ZA for a while leading up to the release. Obviously, I was gonna play it because I'm a disgusting bottom feeder who will lick the slop off the streets if Game Freak puts out a new Pokemon game, and Legends ZA was no exception. But the question still lingered. Can a Pokemon game exist in one single city? Won't it get boring quickly? As for me and many in the community, the answer is no. After putting over 80 hours into Pokemon Legends ZA in under 3 weeks, I can safely say I'm hooked. I spend a very large amount of time working on our other channels for Sorta Stupid, and I don't usually have much time to game after I get home. And especially lately, there hasn't been many games that have really gotten their hooks in, but Legends ZA did. So let's dive into the good, the bad, and the ugly in the Pokemon Legends ZA experience. We open from the perspective of a mysterious creature watching our main character sitting on a train on their way to Lumiose City, watching live streams for a new fan favorite character that, we will discuss later. The mysterious creature jumps into our bag and we leave the train and enter Lumiose City after leaving the train station. We have trainers, wild Pokemon, people jogging with their Pokemon. It truly sets the tone for what this experience is going to be. Pokemon have taken over Lumiose City, and in more ways than one. From the wild Pokemon wandering around, trainers on every corner, and even the signage and posters, which I spent entirely too much time checking out and taking pictures of. I quickly bump into Tawny, who is hanging around a Totodile, Tepig, and Chikorita, and then gives us the breakdown of what's going on in Lumiose City. The city is being rebuilt by the Quasartico company to help integrate Pokemon into the city through a bunch of technologically advanced wild zones, which is going to be how you catch the vast majority of the Pokemon you encounter throughout your journey inside of Lumiose City. After getting to choose our starter, which for me was Totodile, I slogged through the multi-hour, extremely hand-holdy tutorial. This consisted of learning about the Z-A Royale and that it happens every night, meeting the 3,000-year-old absolute giant of a man and his 3,000-year-old Pokemon Floette. They let me stay at Hotel Z, which is our main hub here in Lumiose City, and I joined Team MZ. I learn I'm being stalked by a mysterious green goo who you may or may not recognize as Zygarde, and from here we meet Lita, and after defeating Tawny, I get the Pokedex app, which is honestly a really cool way to handle the Pokemon games entering the modern era. After catching Bunnelby, Fletchling, Scatterbug, Wheelie, and Mareep, who the hell is Wheelie? Weedle. Oh, I am dumb. After catching them in Wild Zone 1, I go to the Pokemon Research Lab and overhear someone ranting about how more and more Wild Zones just keep cropping up all throughout the city because of the mayor, who's doing so without the proper research. Oh, and here's pictures of Professor Sycamore from X and Y Hung Up too. I finally met Mabel and her awesome Rotom tablet, which I had no idea it could do. I thought it was just a phone, apparently not. We got multiple options here. She informs me she's the acting director and gives me Mabel's research prize for catching 5 species. And this is something that continues throughout the entire game, all the way up to level 50. She even admits she made up this entire thing just to get people to do the research she needs for her. I love you, Mabel. I love you. We get the Rock Smash TM, which I give to my new Bunnelby. I claim the currently available mystery gift for a female Ralts that comes with the Gardevoirite, it's Gardevoir with "ite" at the end, you know what I mean. And then I meet Naveen, who drips me out with this fedora. And I'm gonna say it right now. I'm not wearing this fedora, Naveen. It's not happening. I start catching every Pokemon I can, including a Pichu and an Abra, and I finally head back to Hotel Z. From here, I get my first promotion match for Rank Z against a trainer named Zach. I take on the battle zones, get the 1,000 points needed to fight Zach, and I absolutely beat his ass. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Zach is a pretty horrible trainer. And just like that, I hit rank Y. A detective named Emma shows up after seeing my promotion match, and I found out she's looking for someone for Tawny, but hasn't managed to find her yet. We head back to Hotel Z, and I learn Team MZ is trying to help create the strongest Mega Evolution trainer in Lumiose City. And yet again, the green goo it'd be watching us. Tawny made us this absolutely delicious looking croissant curry, and I will not allow anyone to say it's disgusting, including you, Naveen. I liked you, but you're now on my shit list. Now, let's be real. Let's see these comments flooded with the curry looks delicious, because we all know it actually does look delicious. Me and Tawny head out and bump into Tarragon, a member of Raxine Construction, who tells me about these colorful screws that are all throughout the city, and if I get them, I can hand them in for prizes. He then gives me a red Canary plush, which boosts the experience points my Pokemon get by a little bit. Tawny and I head along the rooftop towards Prism Tower, stop at a coffee shop next to Prism Tower for an Ember Roast coffee. I think I got a Fire Blast coffee. I don't actually remember, but I think it was Fire Blast. And then I bump into Vinnie. Vinnie is a higher up at Quasartico. Why is it so hard to say? Quasartico. He stops by and apologizes for the state of the city during its redevelopment plan. He should be apologizing for this absolutely abysmal name they named their company, but I guess that wasn't his choice. Whatever. The ball guy gives me the balls I lost trying to catch them all, and then it hits me. What in the actual was Game Freak thinking? They introduced an NPC whose entire job is to give you lost Pokeballs, which is awesome. Fantastic idea, especially for this type of game. But like, can we address that they didn't give him this uniform from Sword and Shield? Are you kidding me? It's perfect. I then swing over to Wild Zone 3 after lamenting about Ball Guy, where I meet the Fist of Justice and their leader, Ivor. After this, Jose challenges me to a trainer battle, and I obviously destroy her. Ivor comes over to tell me how awesome and strong I am, and how I can change my Pokemon moves on a whim. And let me tell you, after recently doing a Pokemon Fire Red Nuzlocke, the quality of life improvements are so fun, and definitely resulted in me trying all different kind of movesets throughout my playthrough that I normally wouldn't have done in previous Pokemon games. Next, me and Tawny stop by the Looker's Bureau to talk to Emma, who asks for help with some cases, which end up being the side missions within this game, or at least some of them. And this game has a ton. I'm talking 119 side quests before this most recent update, which added another one. And let's be honest, we're likely going to get even more when the DLC releases on December 10th, which I am so excited for. Continuing onward, I evolved Abra, Totodile, and Ralt, traded a Pikachu for a Heracross named Boys, and met this Nurse Joy, who is very clearly baked out of her mind. And I don't know about you, but I actually love this. Having a variety of different Nurse Joys all around Lumiose City was really cool to see, since as far as I'm aware, this is the first time it's ever happened within Pokemon where we've gotten different types of Nurse Joys. After completing all of the side quests I had available to me and changing my hair, Emma taught me about Mega Evolution. Next up was my Rank Y promotion match, and now my favorite part about the challenges is these challenge cards. It got me to constantly swap my team around and use different moves and Pokemon to earn as many points as I could for my promotion matches. So after getting the 3,000 points I needed, it was time to take on Yvonne, who whines about being a busy adult. I get it. Adulting sucks. Yvonne. So I set her straight by making her realize she's too old to compete with us new up-and-comers. I've arrived at rank X. We head back to Hotel Z for some food, and yet again, the mysterious green goo is still stalking me. The next morning, me and Naveen battle, and unfortunately for him, he didn't stand a chance. So it's time to spill the tea, Naveen. After Naveen left, I learned Zavi was my next target for the Z-A Royale promotion match. I got this Chespin who kept fighting taxis, and then I took on Zavi after getting enough points for a promotion match. Sorry, Zavi. You're just not that good. First too old, then too young. We have a rank W croissant curry celebration at Hotel Z to get to. Next morning, I beat Lita in a battle, and I found my next opponent for a promotion match, Rintaro. I evolved Crocodile into Feraligatr, took down Rintaru, and then bumped into Zygarde in its 10% form. Emma told me to chase after Zygarde, so I booked it down the road after him, and he took me right to a Rogue Mega Evolution Absol. Rogue Mega Evolution is a Pokemon who Mega evolves without a trainer, and it's against their will. It's described as being very painful for the Pokemon that succumbed to Rogue Mega Evolution, and Absol, being grateful for me helping it, joined my team. The next morning, I destroyed Tawny using my Mega Evolved Absol against her Mega Evolved Manectric, and this is where I learned about the stare shiny hunting method in Wild Zone 3. And I'm not gonna lie, I farmed that for a little bit. This got me 2 shiny Flabébés and 2 shiny Skiddos, and then I went on to the next main mission, which was to defeat Vinnie as my next promotion match. And this may be one of the more controversial parts of the game. Vinnie basically says that Quasartico, I nailed it that time. Let's go, dude. Quasartico! Basically, Vinnie tells us that Quasartico needs our help, but in order to do that, we need to be rank F. So if we can beat him, we'll get boosted all the way to rank F. I evolved Flaffy into Ampharos, I took Vinnie down, and this one was actually kind of a close one, I'm not gonna lie. Riolu and Ghastly were my only Pokemon left against his Mega Evolved Drampa, but I came out victorious, and now I'm boosted all the way to rank F. And I'm not gonna lie, at the time, this really bothered me. The whole premise of the game was supposed to be going all the way from rank Z to rank A, and being Disney speed passed right to rank F, it felt like a large chunk of the game was just bypassed. But in my opinion, the direction of the game here, it just more than makes up for me grinding through a couple of extra ranks. Tawny beats Vinnie next, so she gets boosted to rank F as well. And then I enjoy some bevs with my boy Riolu to boost his friendship so that he can become a Lucario. And let me say, yet again, a fantastic quality of life improvement for Legend ZA. I much prefer being able to just bond with my Pokemon over some drinks, as opposed to what I had to do in my Soul Silver Nuzlocke, where I ran up and down Goldenrod City for like 2 hours. Tawny and I went to Quasartico and learned about how they witnessed AZ take down a rogue Mega Evolutions Pokemon using Floette. And that was when they got involved, because AZ just doesn't have the stamina for lengthy battles anymore. You can't really blame the dude, 3,000 years old. So I get it. I then learned from Naveen about a streamer named Canary, and I learned she's going to be my next promotion match. But that will have to wait because more rogue Mega Evolution Pokemon are on the loose. As a thank you for helping AZ, gave me Feraligatr, which may be one of the worst handled Mega Evolutions in the game. Seriously, let's get into this. I don't actually mind Feraligatr's Mega Evolution. In fact, I think it's a really cool concept. I know not everybody agrees with me, but that's just my opinion. But when you actually use Feraligatr in the game, the weird head just being open, it just looks stupid. Let's be honest. If it stayed closed like this, it would have been great. Let me know your thoughts on Feraligatr's Mega Evolution in the comments, I guess. From here, I caught a Larvitar, I evolved Curlia, and this is where the addiction really started kicking in for me. I started focusing on evolving the Pokemon I had, catching various Pokemon around to start working towards really completing my Pokedex. Hawlucha, Dragonair, basically just going through and checking off 100% for every wild zone as soon as they were available to me. And then I started taking on the rogue Pokemon evolutions, starting with this derpy. Zygarde took notice because, you know, he's my stalker now. And then I took down the Mega Camerupt with Lita, which may be one of the coolest Mega Evolutions. Victory Bell, they were next. So with all 3 Megas taken down, I went to the museum and I spent a ridiculous amount of time going around this place taking pictures. All of the references were so cool. The Legends Arceus gear, the Pokeballs, the legendary Pokemon inscriptions, legendary statues, Mega Evolution statues, and all these incredible paintings. This is honestly a big thing that I wanted to talk about in this video. We all know that the vast majority of the buildings around Lumiose are just a JPEG slapped onto a big rectangle. I'm not gonna pretend otherwise. And I did think this was gonna bother me way more than it actually did once I got hands on sticks. I think that's mostly because when I'm running around the city, I'm focused on everything else. The people walking around, the Pokemon to catch, the battles, basically just the actual video game loop that is Pokemon Legends ZA. And I don't think anyone is denying that the characters in Pokemon look great, especially on Switch 2. But the few buildings that we actually can go inside just look so dang good. And the museum really just had me drooling for probably upwards of a good hour. When I finally left the museum, I had a coffee with Feraligatr, was given a Fennekin, and transformed fossils I bought into Tyrant and Amora. I then headed back to Hotel Z to chill and was jumped by Zygarde, and after defeating him, L showed up. Finally, it was time for my rank F promotion match against Canary. But this wouldn't be as easy as the previous promotion matches. No, no, no. Not only did I need to get the promotion tickets like normal, I'd have to win the Canary Quiz Whiz contest. And this would allow me to ask her for a favor, like a promotion match. Now, since Naveen is a Fanatic, he offers to help us win the Quiz Whiz contest. I show up, and of course, this absolute jabroni over here is about to go down. Naveen gives us some intel, and we blow through the Quiz Whiz. and I finally have to battle Manny. You know, Manny, the jabroni from earlier. I clap Manny's cheeks with my Mega Evolved Lucario, obviously, and Canary accepts the challenge request and sends me to Raxine Construction. I have to battle Tarragon, who I find out is not only Canary's grandfather, but he has been pretending to be Canary this entire time. So with the cat out of the bag, I can finally take on Canary herself, who's just in the back of Raxine Construction, gaming the day away. Hashtag goals, am I right?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Canary pretty much admits that the reason she's only rank F is because she likes gaming more than battling. And she wasn't kidding. Her Mega Electros actually did a serious number on my team, but I still came out victorious, and I ranked up to rank E. With Canary defeated and all of us in the Pokemon community definitely Canadics now, it was time to focus on more rogue Mega Evolutions around Lumiose City. But first, we gotta troll Lita for a bit. And finally, the Roto Glide. One of the most random mechanics, and I'll have you wondering, why did we not just get a normal glide or a normal jump, with this being the double jump? But it is the most weirdly satisfying jump mechanic I have ever used in a video game. I still wish I had a normal glide and that this Roto Glide was a double jump, but goddamn, nothing hits like getting that perfect Roto Glide over to a building you definitely shouldn't be able to reach yet. I then killed a Mega Hawlucha with Lita, a Mega Beedrill with Tawny, evolved my Dragonair into a Dratini, finally, and I finally battled a Mega Banette with Naveen. With the third rogue Mega Evolution defeated, Zygarde arrived, and so did L yet again. He mentions plus moves and how they are the key to defeating Mega Evolution Pokemon, and this is where in the game I found out that you had to click plus to use plus moves when not in Mega Evolution. I spent so many hours not knowing this. Anyone else have this happen? Or just me? Elle informs me that Zygarde can't Mega Evolve, and I'm still made and can't handle him yet. I got a Galarian Slowpoke named Spicy, evolved a bunch of Pokemon to flesh out my decks, earned enough points for a challenger match, but Ivor's sister is missing? So I had to help him and Emma find his sister before he'd be willing to battle me. And why is that? Because his sister controls his phone. And because he doesn't have a phone, he can't accept my challenge or verify that I actually have a challenger ticket. I envy this man. I hate my phone. Anyways, this dude was jumped by Spinarak. I found out from my girlfriend that a Kanto starter has been waiting for me for like 15 to 20 hours. So say hello to my boy Charmander. This cop then jumped me because I was hanging out with a homeless Pokemon, and Canary rematch! This battle went a little better than last time, though, I'm not gonna lie. So apparently Canary knows about Ivor's sister and where she might be. So she gives us a hint and we go to find her. After freezing this fountain, the water drains from the sewers and we enter the sewers to look for Ivor's sister. And now I want to point out that at first I thought this was really, really cool. Dude, no one would ever find you. It would be perfect solitude. But then I thought about it for more than 10 seconds. How the hell was she supposed to get out of this place? Regardless, we go down into the sewers, find this locked gate, chase after some cleft key. I realize it didn't have the key, and then Ivor just punched the door open. It was awesome. Also, Emma Naruto runs, apparently. I don't know how I haven't noticed this prior. We find this magic ghost wall and find out that Gwen didn't want to be found, was here specifically to avoid her brother. I battle Gwen in her Mega Chandelure, and by battle, I mean obliterate her. And she confirms with Ivor that I do in fact have a challenger ticket, so he runs off to prepare, and we chat with Gwen, and it seems like they have a little bit better of an understanding of how one another feels. They didn't squash their sibling beef entirely, but let's be honest, who does? Ivor and his Mega Phalanx actually gave me some difficulty here. I had to revive Lucario and sacrifice Gabite and the rest of my team to win this battle, but I won. Rank D achieved. That next morning, Tawny's missing and she got into some serious gambling debt, or something. And now the people looking for her money got my number, and somehow I'm roped into this. AZ tells me and Lita to head to the Rust Syndicate to talk with them. Before that though, did you know you have to flip your switch upside down in order to evolve Inkay? How in the hell did the first person find this out? Charmander is now a Charizard, I'm a pro at Roto Gliding, and I have a Tyranitar and a Noivern and a lot more. I was pretty determined to finish my Pokedex. Also, at this point in the game, I noticed if you go around Lumiose City, all these manholes manhole covers have a different Pokemon design, similar to the real Pokemon manhole covers you can find in Okinawa, Japan, which is just a really cool detail. It's now time to evolve our shiny Esper into a shiny Meowstic, and basically every other Pokemon I had who I could evolve with all the rare candies I've collected throughout the game. I had my first really big payout for the Battle Zone completion, and I found the Rust Syndicate, and look at these goofy motherfuckers. Oh my god, I love them so much. After sweeping the 2 grunts, Felipe was up next, and although his Mega Skarmory was cool, he didn't stand a chance. Then comes one of the coolest villain lairs ever. The aesthetic of Corbu's office won me over instantly, and so did he and the Rust Syndicate, to be honest. I love how over the top and extra they are, so I willingly signed up to help them. Of course, no, they actually extorted us. Kind of. So Tawny is still responsible for the 100K she owes them, but now me and Lita somehow were roped into owing them the 1 million in interest or something like that. Shit's crazy. But I work for the Rust Syndicate now, I guess. More evolutions, and I started to focus on getting all the screws around the game and buying all the Canary plushes. They give you all kinds of boosts, so I figured it made sense to get them. You get increased experience points, improved catch rate, increased prize money, more mega shards, and even increasing our own character's health so you won't get curb stomped by the Death Lions in Wild Zone 17.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
So after I did this and I got all the Canary plushes, this fellow Fanatic told me that if I collect all 100 colorful screws, he'd give me a giant Canary plush. So I did it. I beat a rogue Mega Mawile with Tawny, was stalked by Gwyn when I was with Naveen, and him and Gwyn were butt heads over their love for Canary. Was pretty much everything I could have possibly wanted from them. I traded this kid an Abra for a Riolu, and then the Abra I traded him immediately abandoned him. It was hilarious. I started getting basically every single side quest I had available completed. I even gave my Furfro a haircut. All of the haircuts. Rogue Mega Barbacle was next, which may be one of the craziest looking Pokemon in the entire franchise, but I love it. After this, L drops a bomb that Quasartico had something to do with the Rogue Mega Evolutions, and that he was counting on us and our help to save Lumiose. I evolved more Pokemon, including the shiny Bellsprout, Pidgey, and Skeeto I caught. I clapped the cheeks of this Rogue Mega Ampharos, and I got my first job with the Rust Syndicate. Look who it is! Legend Z-A also dropped this wild side quest about this Shuppet showing up because these two were miserable in their marriage. I evolved more Pokemon, and Corbu finally let me off the leash once I was strong enough to challenge him with a challenge ticket. But he just couldn't hang, man. I'm just that good. My normal non-mega evolved Dragonite beat his ass. Finally rank C. Only 2 more left. Corbu showed up to Hotel Z not long after, decided to stay the night to help out, told us he retired, and tipped Tawny the full amount to pay off her debt. See, Corbu isn't such a bad guy after all. From here, I banged out a bunch of side quests, took on Naveen and his Mega Scrafty, which is just amazing. My dude is just wearing a hoodie, like this fan art of Pokemon wearing hoodies by It's Birdie Art, who is just an absolutely incredible artist, by the way, if you didn't know. From here, I don't know how many hours I spent, but I know it was a lot. Just grinding side missions, evolving Pokemon for the Pokedex. I was addicted.
I'm sorry. Did you get addicted to crack? Did somebody get addicted to crack?
I was literally doing laps around the house, playing in handheld mode because I still needed to get my steps in, but I didn't want to put the game down. Finally, I found Jacinth. I'm really sorry if I sang any of these names wrong. I did not even attempt to double check to see if I was saying their names right before recording this. Basically, Jacinth is insanely rich and coordinated this huge party of basically every single person we have fought so far in the tournament to battle. Unfortunately though, Rogue Mega Evolution started ramping up and me and Tawny had to leave, which caused Laban to come after us. I mean, she just absolutely flipped the out, and Jacinth really wasn't too happy either. But like, Laban might be one of my favorite characters in Pokemon pretty much ever. Me and Tawny took down a Mega Venusaur. Jacinth used her super rich people tech, I guess, to tell us that she will not start the competition without us. Then Laban jumped us outside of Hotel Z with that super rich people tech. And after beating Laban, we found out that she got her ass beat by Jacinth and has been stuck as her mate or something ever since. She was pretty freaking scared, but I get it. Rich people be crazy. Bring it on, Jacinth. I will be rank B. October ended, spooky ghosts appear, more side quests, and finally the Jacinth tournament. Canary destroyed. Ivor obliterated. Corbu annihilated. Jacinth gasses me up, and finally it's time to take her on.
Or is it?
L strolls in alongside Zygarde, who wants to battle me, so Jacinth modifies the tournament, and after Zygarde transforms into his 50% form, I take it down to using my over-leveled Dragonite. So finally, after what felt like an eternity, it's me versus Jacinth in the final battle of this tournament. And oh my god, this music is incredible. But alas, even her Mega Evolved Clefairy wasn't enough to defeat me. I am finally rank B and no longer being held hostage by her, although she definitely still seems to be a bit obsessed with me. Vinnie calls Tawny and I over to Quasartico, where we have a conversation with Jet. She asks for our assistance to protect Lumiose and allow it to become a place where people and Pokemon can live together, pretty much like the Detective Pikachu movie. Jet shows some interest in Tawny's jacket. Vinnie emails us the details of the Rogue Mega Evolutions happening in Lumiose now, and Team MZ and I head out to save them. Me and Lita took on the infamous Mega Starmie. Me and Naveen took on Mega Tyranitar, which may be one of my favorite Mega Evolutions of the game. And finally, Mega Dragonite, which is not only, like Mega Tyranitar, one of the coolest megas in the game, but it is one of the coolest shiny megas. I mean, come on, look at this guy and tell me you don't want to run back and forth for as long as it takes to get him. As long as it takes! My next challenge to finally achieve rank A was a secret trainer named Grisham. We didn't know anything about him, so we went to Emma to see if she could assist a little bit. She agrees, but only if I defeat her in battle. I'm sorry, Emma, I'm just too powerful. This is what you get when you no-life the side quests and are 20 plus levels higher than everyone else's Pokemon, including yours. I, of course, didn't stop there, and I kept grinding all of the side quests, found this crazy and ended up finding out that Mabel knew Gris from Team Flare and that he was a strong trainer, but I had no idea why he'd be involved in the Z-A Royale, and then recommended I check out the Novu Cafe over in Centrico Plaza. You know, the cafe where we've been going to since the beginning of the freaking game. I then did even more side quests before heading to the Novu Cafe and found out that both of them that work here were from Team Flare, which in retrospect should have been obvious with the whole Novu Cafe logo being the Team Flare logo with a line through it this entire time. But in my defense, I only played X and Y once, and it was about 10 years ago, and at the time, I definitely did not pay attention to the story. But after this game, I definitely would love to revisit X and Y. So let me know in the comment section if that's something you'd like to see. Anyways, Grisham and Grizel admit to who they are. Grizel wants to kill me for working with AZ and being a part of Team MZ, but Grisham manages to calm her down. I meet them both that night, I battle Grizel, and after beating her, Grisham allows me to check out Lysander Labs, where Team Flare used to do research so that I could see the truth for myself. Also, can we talk about the fact that the code word was just open sesame? Like, really?
Open sesame! Well, I've done all I can do.
Anyways, while down in Lysander Labs, I meet Elle, who is suffering amnesia, and he's with the legendary Pokemon Zygarde. We discuss how the device in Prism Tower was triggered by the old ultimate weapon and is now a danger to Lumiose City. After leaving, Grisham tells me only Floette can bring balance. He gives me an ultimatum to hand over AZ's Floette. So I head back to Hotel Z to confront AZ, talk with the rest of Team MZ, and then AZ confesses that he built Angie, whatever, long ago to atone for his past sins, but unfortunately, the power has spiraled out of control. It's leaking massive amounts of mega energy, and that leakage is what's been causing all of these Pokemon throughout Lumiose to rogue Mega Evolve. I took on Grisham, and although he didn't believe in me or that I could save Lumiose, he gave me a pretty good thrashing, but I managed to come out on top and he was impressed. I finally achieved rank A, but my journey was far from over yet. Lumiose is still in danger. Elle and Zygarde show up, and Elle asks me to help save Lumiose, and also that Zygarde still lacks the cells needed to use its full strength. Back at Hotel Z, I learned that Tawny also managed to hit rank A, and although we were having a scrumptious dinner of croissant curry, Floette starts flipping out. The Prism Tower has finally started to overflow with energy, and Angie, I'm just gonna call you Angie from now on, is about to activate. Vinnie calls us to ask for help. We say farewell to AZ, who wishes us well, and the last Zygarde cell attaches to me or slides up in my pocket or something. I don't know, it's somewhere on me. With Angie activated, the Prism Tower transforms into this giant, monstrous plant machine creature. Many of the top trainers I've met throughout my journey with Pokemon Legends ZA show up to help me defend the city, for Boo, Canary, Evor, Jacinth, Leban, Grisham, Grizel, Mord, like they're all here to help me fight my way past all these rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon, while Tawny works with Floette to attempt to stop the Prism Tower from the inside. Finally, me and Zygarde work together, and he accepts the final Zygarde cell to unlock his true power. Zygarde form 100%, or Super Saiyan Zygarde as I like to call him. From here, this begins one of the coolest Pokemon boss fights I have ever encountered. Now, don't get me wrong, there has been some incredible moments in every generation of games, but this one truly felt like a spectacle. A multi-part boss fight that felt involved and intense. Even with the lack of voice acting that Legend Z-A delivers, this whole section, from the second the tower starts acting up, was just everything I could ask for in a Pokemon game for a final cataclysmic event. Wholeheartedly, the only thing I wish it had was voice acting to really elevate it. Luckily, this final battle segment doesn't really need it because there's not a lot of dialogue, so it's just an incredible, fun experience from start to finish once the battle begins. After finally defeating the rogue Mega Evolved Angie, we see the entire squad that we've built up and battled throughout the entire game. And with that, the pebble that seemed to be just this ordinary item that I was given earlier in the game, well, it was Zygarde, which allowed Zygarde to Mega Evolve. This was the final bit of power Zygarde needed to finally finish off Angie and save Lumiose City from utter destruction. With AZ looking unhappy, knowing that we succeeded and saved Lumiose, the credits roll. We get a flood of awesome screenshots of the cast we've grown to love throughout this game and the journey to fix up Lumiose City after the aftermath of what had just happened. L takes off, hopefully to be seen again in a future game, but I can't say the same for AZ. After the credits roll, me and the rest of Team MZ are at AZ's grave, and I thank him for everything and head off to keep watching over Lumiose together. When back at Hotel Z, Lita and Naveen remind me that by hitting rank A, Tawny and I are supposed to get a wish fulfilled by Quasartico. Of course, before I did this, I finished a bunch more side quests, but when we finally made it to Centrico Plaza outside of the new Wild Zone 20, we asked Quasartico to allow the Z-A Royale to continue so the Pokemon and trainers can continue to battle and bond with each other. So the infinite Z-A Royale can finally begin. From here, I started catching not only the rest of the Pokemon I needed in Wild Zone 20, but evolving them. Finishing off the rest of the side quests I had. I mean, look at this cute little ice guy. And then I bumped into L at Hotel Z, where he informed me of the one that gives and the one that takes. And he also let me know that Zygarde hasn't been seen since the night that Angie almost destroyed Lumiose City. I hunt down and catch both Xerneas and Yveltal, then take on the infinite Z-A Royale with my now absolutely cracked team of Dragonite, Feraligatr, Xerneas, Yveltal, Tyranitar, and Lucario. 14 reward matches later, and it was time to face Tawny for my 15th reward match since starting the Infinite Z-A Royale. And after taking her down with AZ's Mega Evolved Floette by her side, Emma arrives to talk with Tawny. We head to Quasartico to talk with Jet, where we find out that she is actually Tawny's grandmother, and that Tawny's mom helped create the Wild Zones here in Lumiose City. She accepts the fault of what happened with the tower and has decided to step down from her role at Quasartico and asks Tawny to take over. She accepts and gives me AZ's Floette to take care of. After heading back to Hotel Z, I'm stopped by L, who challenges me to a battle. He has a Mega Evolved Gyarados who's level 80, but my team is just too strong, man. I managed to take him down with only a few Pokemon defeated. And clearly, Zygarde saw the battle and decided that I was worthy. I headed to Prism Tower to meet Zygarde, where he challenges me to yet another battle, but this time it's different. The battle starts with Zygarde in his 10% form. After defeating that version, he transforms into his 50% form. And I also want to remind you that he's level 84. After finally defeating his 50% form, he transforms into his 100% form. The same form he used when we defeated the Prism Tower. And he had one very specific move that just ripped me to shreds multiple times. And that was this insane blast of death, which just caused the ground to explode. I must have had to fight Zygarde like 3 to 4 times before I was finally able to beat him. And it wasn't because my Pokemon weren't strong enough or anything. He just kept actually killing my character specifically. But I finally took him down, caught him with my Master Ball, and then L gave me the Zygarde Cube, which allows me to switch Zygarde's form as well as Mega Evolve him. He also makes an interesting comparison about how Zygarde's Mega Evolution moves remind him of Z moves from the Alola region. We also find out that he is now cursed in the exact same way AZ was, and that he has now 3,000 years to live. 3,000 years to try and search and create the world that he yearns for. He accepts we may never meet again, and he takes off, marking the end of the final mission of the game. From here, I grinded the infinite Z-A Royale, started completing every last side quest that was available to me, including the insane one, which is a tournament of just me versus Jacinth. Like legit some weird obsession level shit, but she gave me 300k and 30 luxury balls for it, so like that's pretty cool. From here, I grinded for the next couple days until I finally hit 1,000 battles and hit level 50 in Mabel's research, where I was given the shiny charm. Just under 75 hours into the game, and with that, you know what that means. I have completed my Pokedex, and not just a fully completed Pokedex, a fully completed living dex. All main quests and side quests have been completed, and I finally have the shiny charm. So the true endgame can finally begin. My endless obsession with these slightly tweaked color variations of Pokemon is here. Oh yeah, and lucky for me, the very next day after I accomplished this, they dropped new DLC. A free new DLC. So I got one last Pokemon to catch before the DLC arrives on December 10th. After now over 100+ hours into the game, I can safely say this game exceeded my expectations. I always have a blast when Pokemon drops a new game, but this one really hooked me in a way that, to be honest, video games just haven't been hitting for me lately. Hades 2 was a lot of fun and I love Cult of the Lamb, but it's been a very, very long time since I sunk this amount of hours into a game, especially this quickly. I haven't been able to put the controller down, and I enjoyed the story so much, it makes me want to go back and really take in the story in previous Pokemon games, which isn't really something I've ever done in the past. The point I'm getting at is, yes, although the Pokemon games have had its fair share of issues during the Switch's life cycle, I love this franchise, and I know so many of you do too. And of course, I would love to not have these weird JPEG sticker-like windows, and would love to have voice acting.
Behold! Lord of the Underworld!
And that probably would have prevented me from definitely saying some of these names wrong during this script. But regardless, I know that no matter what Gen 10 has in store for us, I know I'm gonna have fun. And at the end of the day, that's all I really want in a video game. And clearly the game hooked me, because now I'm over 190 hours and I have over 124 shinies. So thank you so much for watching, and if you've made it this far, why not check out this Nuzlocke video I made? I think you'll really enjoy it. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time.